kita sudah tinggal jadi satu kono clip jangan seperti itu kita saya itu berjuang clip
Okay, let's talk about some fun facts about Dash, the newly added Geometry Dash 2.2 main level. Today we're gonna be talking about a bunch of skips that you can do in this level, things that got changed during the beta 2.2, some behind the scenes stuff, and more fun facts. If you hold at the beginning of Dash and buffer this red orb, you can skip these blue gravity orbs, and it works very fine. If you've ever died here, even though you clicked, that's probably a skill issue. Or because there's this orb that completely cancels your click and activates this awesome effect. However, I think the first option is more likely. Also, you see these beautiful looking blocks? Well, I hated to break it down to you, but these spikes are fake. These spikes serve absolutely no purpose when it comes to gameplay. There are no spikes there, it's all just fake. Why you do this to me? You're giving me nightmares, Rob. You see this laser ball thingy? This object has the Y position of 9696.68. Why you do this to me, Rob? Also, there's this force block which pushes the player downwards, but it doesn't really seem to have any reasonable purpose. Also, you know how when you're playing this dash part, this awesome dash part, and then all of a sudden this happens? Well, that's because there's actually no block here. This is all just an illusion. I don't know why RobTop didn't add a block there. I mean, I don't really see the problem with it, but it's still nice to know. And also this slope, this goes to show that RobTop is indeed caring for some optimizations. You see this part where you go up and down and left and also right? Well, this part is actually doable as a big cube, and we can also see that you can land on these blocks that we just talked about. After the swing copter part, if you enter this part and then go into the robot section and jump very precisely in here, you will die in a hole with fire in it. Let's talk about a bunch of things that were changed from the beta to the final release. So in this part, all of you may know that these buttons have been absolutely screwed. The music does not sync at all anymore. Here's a side-by-side comparison between the new one and the old one. You can see that the spike wall did not move before. However, what's even more interesting is that if you go to Dash and view it in the editor, you can see the very old concept of this part, which was leaked in a beta before 2.2 was even released. This is how that part looked like, but if you go onto Dash in the editor, you can actually see these buttons are still there, and there were even spikes there, so it was exactly like Colon wanted it. But for some reason, RobTop decided to change that. Also, remember when the sneak peek came out and we were really excited to skip this cube portal? Well, now it's not doable anymore. And also this part has a little bit of changing with the camera. And also these spikes have been removed in the final version. There's something very interesting about the arrow trigger, and it's that it can mess up your sync by a lot. So you have to be very smart about how you use it. And we can see that RobTop placed a lot of slopes when it comes to going sideways. However, these slopes are actually very harmless, unlike all of the invisible stuff in the custom levels. Why you guys do this to me? There are 442 colors used in Dash, which is a different
Bye.